Good morning and welcome back to another workshop presented to you by the Taxpayers Help Center. Today's topic is going to be the child tax credit in 2026, what families should know. So a little bit about us before we jump in. Once again, we are the Taxpayers Help Center, which is a nonprofit organization located in Northridge, California. We do operate two tax clinics, the first one being our LITC, which is the Low Income Taxpayer Clinic, where we do help taxpayers resolve their tax disputes with the IRS. And then our second clinic is the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Clinic, also known as VITA, where we help prepare income taxes for free. Masood Shatani, he's a CPA director for both clinics. And then once again, my name is Amiel Duncan, and I'm the director of the outreach program for the LITC. Our mission as an organization and a company is to help taxpayers both locally and beyond. We are an IRS authorized certifying acceptance agent, also known as a CAA, for the individual taxpayer identification numbers, also known as ITIN applications. So if you yourself or someone you know is in need of the ITIN number or the application, or just has questions and needs guidance through the process, please feel free to reach out to us today, and we would be more than happy to help you. And then lastly, for donations and support, individuals and businesses can support us financially by donating funds to help us expand the reach of our services. They can volunteer their time or expertise or spread awareness about our services and our organization to loved ones as well. So with that, once again, welcome everyone and thank you for attending today's presentation. The Child Tax Credit, or the CTC, is one of the most important tools families use to reduce their tax burden and increase their refund. Since 2018, many families have benefited from a more generous CTC due to the Tax Cuts and Job Acts, also known as TCJA. But in 2026, these expanded benefits are scheduled to expire. That means a smaller credit, fewer families qualifying, and fewer dollars refunded. Our goal today is to help you understand these changes so you can begin to plan now, whether that's adjusting your tax withholding, revisiting your budgeting, or working with a tax advisor. So what is the child tax credit? So let's start with where we are today. So in 2025, the child tax credit offers up to $2,000 for every qualifying child under the age of 17. That means if you owe taxes, the credit reduces your tax bill dollar for dollar. And if your credit is larger than your tax owed, you may receive a portion as a refund. Up to $1,600 per child is refundable. So importantly, income phase outs are very generous right now. For example, a married couple filing jointly can earn up to $400,000 before losing the credit. This credit is a lifeline for many working families and often makes the difference between receiving a refund and owing money. So some key takeaways from this slide is that it is up to $2,000 per qualifying child under the age of 17 as of right now. And it also is up to 1,600 that is refundable within this year, 2025. And then number three is phase outs at $400,000 if you are married filing jointly, or $200,000 if you're single. And then this does help millions of working families lower their tax liability or helps them boost refunds. So what is changing in 2026? Beginning with the 2026 tax year, unless the Congress acts, the CTC will revert to pre-TCJA rules. So first, the credit will be cut in half from $2,000 to $1,000 per child. The refundable portion, which is essential for low-income families who owe little or no tax, will be reduced significantly or eliminated. Income thresholds will drop sharply. Instead of phase out starting at $400,000 for joint filers, they will begin at around $110,000. So that means many families who currently receive the full credit will receive a reduced amount or nothing at all. The rule requiring a valid Social Security number for the child will remain in place, meaning children without Social Security numbers will not qualify. So what does this mean for your taxes? Practically speaking, if you're used to receiving a $4,000 credit for two children, you could receive only $2,000 in 2026. That $2,000 can change, or that $2,000 change could reduce your refund significantly or cause you to owe taxes you weren't expecting. If you receive the refundable portion, this will hit even harder because those refunds can be essential for rent, bills, groceries, or even childcare. So families with more than one child will feel this the most, and low-income households may be completely excluded if their income is too low to owe tax, making the non-refundable credit essentially worthless to them. So key takeaways is that smaller credits equals smaller refunds or higher tax owed. Families with multiple children will be most affected, as well as low-income families may lose access to credit entirely, which we don't really want to see happen. Now, who will be most affected? So now I have legislative proposals. What might change? So lawmakers are aware of how important the CTC is to families. A bill passed by the House in 2024 would increase the credit to $2,200 and index it for inflation. However, the refundable portion remains limited, which means low-income families will still get less than they do today. The Senate hasn't taken action on this bill yet, so while there is movement, the final outcome is still uncertain, which is why it's extremely important to start preparing for the worst, but to always hope for the best. So what can you do now? You can start planning ahead while there's time. You can review your W-4 and make sure you're not under withholding. If you're counting on a refund that won't come in 2026, you should consider adjusting now. Try to set aside a portion of your 2025 refunds to help bridge the gap in 2026. Look into other available credits like the Earned Income Tax Credit or the Child Independent Care Credit, which may still apply. And most importantly, meet with a qualified tax advisor to map out your individual options. And then lastly, we have resources for families. So you should not go through this alone. Please don't go through this alone. There are many trusted resources out there that are ready to help you. So the IRS.gov has up-to-date tools and calculators to check your eligibility. You can always find your local low-income taxpayer clinic. They're available nationwide to help with IRS issues, disputes, or education. And here at the Taxpayers Help Center, we offer free workshops, one-on-one assistance, and help with the IRS letters or audits related to CTC and other tax queries. So please don't hesitate to reach out. And with that, that does conclude today's workshop. Thank you all for tuning in and learning about what is to come in 2026 with the child tax credit. If you have any questions regarding this topic or any other tax topics, please call us at 818-366-0111. And then you can also send us an email at masood@taxpayershelpcenter.com. And then lastly, if you want to refresh on this topic later on down the line or send it to a loved one, please check out our Facebook page, which is Taxpayers Help Center Inc., a nonprofit tax organization, where today's workshop will be uploaded. And then we also have previous workshops as well if you wanted to check those out. And with that, that does conclude everything. So thank you all once again, and I will see you very soon for the next workshop. Bye.